All right, Jas and Friends, episode 1. This is interesting because in the past that I've been doing long-form content, I had to get people and then pull their teeth to actually get them on camera. But what you guys are going to notice today is going to be interesting because these 5 fucking people that I have with me are wanting the camera and the mics even more than I want the cameras and the mics.
Impossible.
To my left, I got Tilly, a.k.a. the Dean Murphy. I got to her left, Steven, Big Mac, Rochester. And to his left,
Yo.
we got Nikki B. Biscuit.
Or biscuits.
Biscuit. I
Your
like
choice.
that. Tyler Ty Walburn. And then we got Laura Elto Stewart with me.
Hello.
And some of the jokes that these guys were fucking
Hi.
saying off here for 2 seconds was that, yes, this new long-form piece of content is called Jas and Friends, and there were some jokes about these are Jas's bot friends. They're not. These are the 5 people that have been in my life either for the last decade doing content, and anytime that I do something new, I feel the most comfortable bringing on the people that have been with me on this journey for a very, very long time. And so what I actually wanted to start with, rather than saying, like, what do you do and all that nonsense that other people do, is I'm a big believer that whatever is exciting you in life right now is probably what you're passionate about, and someone that's watching right now might just hear something that, and you like the meditations, like, style here.
It's because I'm wearing red shoes, so I want to
You
make
were
sure.
trying to show the shoes?
Yeah, I want to make sure
fucking
that
kicks
I want to make sure
I made sure
shoes and the couch.
We're bringing out shoes.
The bell bottoms and
Very flexible.
It's the 70s up in here.
our fashionista.
That 70s show.
Well, Rochester always has the nice shoes. He's telling me he just throws them into
Throw them in the wash
machine.
Man. Come on. Just
Do
all
you
the
do them
whole
with
thing.
all of that?
Yeah.
You throw them all in at the
You
same
do
time.
a shoe cycle.
Towels? Are there towels?
No. You just let
Oh,
them
I
go.
would put a
put them in
towel in
bags,
there.
or you
Like a
just,
dirty
like,
Throw
towel.
them in the wash, guys.
And then you don't
You
dry
take
them.
the
You don't put
soles
them in
out.
the
You
dryer.
can dry 'em. You just hang them on
I wash my
whatever's
shoes.
around, outside or whatnot, and it works, man.
You throw any
Every
of your
time.
shoes in the...
No, not like I would wash shoes like that.
Laura's rich. She just tosses them away and gets a new pair. Man. Come on.
Me? No, I've got shoes for years. 20 years.
She's a hoarder.
Well, when
but
I
they
was saying,
smell
hey,
good.
when I was talking about the content, Laura's like, okay, why isn't there a speaker and a monitor on me? Like, you got super bougie with the content
get
recently. You remember the first time we did a piece of content?
I hated it. I was sweating through my clothes. I probably cried a little bit. It was anxiety ridden. And now it's fun. This is cool. It's neat to see the progression of it all.
Well, look, I think we're gonna get into that stuff at some point, this episode, next episode, whatever it is. But as I was mentioning, whatever's exciting you, I think someone might be able to watch that and listen to that and say, shit, maybe I'm stuck in some type of 9 to 5 or I'm just stuck into a rut and I haven't found what I'm passionate about. I think in my life, that's what I hear the most because people get to see me and they're like, oh, fuck, you're jumping around. You always look like you're having a lot of fun. It's because of these guys with me right now. I mean, the shit that we've done together and tried, I mean, we failed way more than we've succeeded in things. But I think it's interesting to hear because yeah, we kind of work together and we have a lot of fun together. I actually don't really know what you guys are excited about. Like in your life, it could be a work thing, it could be a business thing. So Tilly, I'm going to start with you for a sec, girl. Like, what are you actually excited about right now?
Honestly, like top 2 is like being a mom. I just had a baby.
Congratulations.
Well, not like just. I just had a baby.
Didn't happen last
yesterday.
week.
No. So my baby's 15 months. So like, literally experiencing her first experiences is absolutely killer because it's awesome. Like I made something, and I get to like put it out into the world and watch her like grow up and experience life for the first time. So like I'm really excited about being a new mom and just like all the stuff that comes with that.
All the challenges.
Like good and bad. Yeah. Let's be honest. But on the flip side, the career side, you guys are the thing that are keeping me really excited. I've really put my toes into the water of just being open to new experiences, throwing my hand, or what's the saying? Throw your cap into the
Between
wind.
you and Alto, you guys suck ass.
Hat over the fence.
about
I know this
saying
one. Hat
this
over
one.
the fence.
Yes, it's yeah.
That or whatever. It's just that like I'm really trusting the process. Like I'm trusting the process of trying something new, being okay, being silly, and not having all the answers, and just like living life. Like that's
you
what
made
I'm
a big
excited.
change, right? Like from the corporate world
Oh my God.
into
Oh yeah.
into this world of misfits. Actually, we could actually call this show like the Misfits.
The Misfits.
It's a good name.
I like that better
Huh?
than
It's a
Jazz
good
and
name.
his non-friends.
Yes, Jazz and Bot Friends. Yes.
Jazz and his
What is it
bot
about you today
misfits.
about
I feel like we shopped that around at one point. The Misfits.
And we never came out
Where,
with
where
it.
was that from?
Oh,
What
it was the
was that
NFT.
for?
Remember we tried. We were
Yeah,
like we flirted with
NFT.
making an NFT on
Whatever
that whole
happened to
We're
craze
gonna each
and-
come out with characters. We're all gonna be a character in NFT land.
Well, that shit might come
so
back
many
out.
ideas. So many ideas.
What happened to NFTs?
So many ideas.
But you know what? No, Jazz, coming back to like the whole corporate thing, it's like, and I don't want to use this word or this term lightly. It's almost like you are unlearning trauma. Trauma in the sense that, because it's like
Little T.
yeah, little trauma. It's just because it's like in the world of content and social media and all of that, especially when you are a brand of yourself, you can really do whatever you'd like. But when you're trying to leave corporate and to do something new in the world of content, it's like I am unlearning that not everything has to be scripted. Not everything has to be branded. Not everything has to follow the guidelines. Like sometimes it's like just be authentically yourself.
You know, it's so funny.
And that's the message.
I fucking love you so much. And I'll tell you why, because I'm sitting here and I'm like, holy shit, it really has been a huge change, because I've had so many people that I've had to sit and try to get the content out
Yeah.
of. But how much has she been dying to get in front of the camera? And talk, like, we
to say
fucking
she-
love to.
For her to say that, like, I had to learn to be authentically myself. I'm like, she came in guns a blazing. So I don't know. I don't think there was any
Fairly
unlearning
authentic.
that needed to happen.
And like Tilly's just like, I got my own show right now. I fucking love you
Unapologetically
so
herself.
much.
It
It's
is
so
a
cool.
Tilly show. We're just
We're just
Friends, and they're not bought.
no. You
All
do
the
bring a
rebranding
good
is Tilly
energy,
and
though.
Friends. This is
Tilly, I
that's
fucking
it.
love
That's it.
Tilly and Friends.
So it's easy to say that, like, what you're excited about is just being around me,
Yeah.
and only me.
Only you.
But really
Absolutely.
just this new
Get a
challenge.
room, guys.
Is that safe to say? Like the challenge and
100%. It's scary. It's so scary being yourself. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's scared to be authentically yourself. And I know you guys are like laughing. And again, little T. Little
Not for
T.
me, Steven.
Little T. Little trauma.
always himself. Going to you, Rochester.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Congratulations.
I'm on
Yeah.
spotlight now.
I'm not gonna steal your thunder. So, what are you excited about right now, man?
Piggybacking off of, I guess, Tilly's sentiment of new challenges. You
What
know,
is
work-
that? What? Say it out loud now. Say it out loud. You
I
never
just
really said
recently
it on
got
tape.
licensed.
Sorry?
I just recently got licensed.
Congratulations.
Big mistake.
Realtor
Big.
in
Huge.
Huge, big.
Laura
news.
is our motivational speaker, by the way. She will always be the one that
Love it.
inspires you and pumps you up.
Right. And again, I was working with the Jazz and the team for so many years, behind the camera, behind the scenes, and taking the leap and kind of, starting my own show and generating leads for myself and spending my own money. It's a lot of challenges behind that. I mean, sometimes it becomes scary, right? But I think if you believe in yourself and if you are authentically you, you can always back and you could always be confident that it'll work out, right?
How long you been licensed for now?
Probably March. So
March.
what's that, 3 months now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this won't be about like how to be better realtors and all
Right.
that shit. Like, go to all of our other content. And I know I screwed up already because Clyde was telling me earlier today. He's like, make sure when you get started, at least tell them what this thing is going to be
Right.
about, Jas and Friends. So myself and Laura and Tyler, we went for like 3 drinks or something, maybe 2 drinks.
I had
before.
one,
You
so
had one.
let's
So Tyler and I had
calm
a
it
couple
down.
before we came here, just because that's what we do.
Right.
The real reason for this format and this show is for me to introduce you to people that people like you on the cameras and who's watching, introduce you to people that are going through whatever they're going through in their lives. But at one point, this crew here, we obviously know each other, but at one point there will be people on these couches, and I will have other friends that that are gonna get to know each other. And so that's kind of the whole format and the reason for this new Jas and Friends, aka maybe the Misfits. We'll see. We'll fuck around a little bit, go back and forth. Maybe if you're watching right now in the comments, just say, trust me, keep it Jas and Friends or change it to the Misfits. It's for that, where people who are watching can get to learn, because you might see something about and hear something about Tilly's story or Laura's story or Nikki's story, and say, and that might inspire you because it's not coming from my voice. And then at the same time, all the people on the couch are going to get to know each other, and who knows what collaborations can happen. People get to know each other. Anything else you're excited about, brother? Rochester.
Honestly, just the next 12 months. So
Love.
love to see what
Love.
happens.
Love. Well, I can't wait to have you back on these couches.
Yeah, I'll
and
have you on my show next time. Season 2 on top of the
well,
season.
when I'm honored, like
That's-
when you ask me, I'm there. What is the show's name, by the way? Yours.
Another episode with Stephen.
That's what it's
Rochester.
called. Another episode with
love
Stephen
that.
Rochester.
Correct.
Another episode.
Another
You always came up with the cool shit.
Why did he?
You are the.
Funny when we
He's a
needed
pretty
names
cool
for
guy,
when
what
we
can we
needed
say?
names for podcasts, he didn't come up with anything.
Friends.
We
What
would
do
come
you
out
mean?
with so many things, and Steven would be like, I don't really have a name, Dory. I'll design the logo for you,
You guys
Jazz.
beat
And
out
then
all
we came
the-
out with the
whole
Jazz
fucking
Takhar
time,
podcast and the
this
Laura
fucking guy's
show.
been keeping his names in his back pocket.
I've been drained of my ideas for 5 years. Okay, I'm tapped.
Another episode. I take it. It's all over the place.
all over the place.
Bobo and Clyde, who are behind the scenes. If you're a fan of JTP Jazz Takhar podcast, you guys know that I always give them their flowers, but I'll give them their flowers again. They're the ones who are controlling the ones and twos. They make sure that this all happens. The new set. The mics, the equipment, and everything. But also, boys, one thing, let's make sure that we do that everyone's specific shows, podcasts, because all these guys are content kings and queens now, that we put all their content.
That's crazy to
and
say, though, right?
information. What's
Like
that?
every
It's
year.
crazy. Everybody
That's
here.
wild.
So for the
I
third
love
time,
it.
there's the hat trick,
love
Rochester.
it.
Like, legit, from my seat, I'll say it for the third time. It's fucking weird, me sitting here, and I'm looking, I'm like, holy shit. I know these three on this side are like, when the fuck are the guys on the left going to shut up? Because all they want to do is talk. They want the camera. They want the mic. Because
I might
that's the
enjoy it a
cool
little
thing
bit.
to see. Nobody's worried now about, oh, my God, how do I look? How do I sound?
The
Right?
egos
it's
run
kinda
high
cool.
in this
Yeah.
room.
And the mic, is audio good? Or Jazz is all over the place? Got it. Okay. I tell you, I really like this new set, new format. Nikki, holla at us.
Yeah, I think this is a year for risk. You know, just to kind of not to take away from them, but a year of risk. Working for Jazz and Laura for 3.5 years. In January, I decided to take the plunge and go from a salaried employee to someone who runs their own business.
Scary.
Frightening, terrifying, but rewarding at the same time too. And yeah, being a part of the academy and just taking life by the horns and running with it. So
Shout out to Fitigu Academy. Come on.
Big
I'm
shout
not
out.
trying
And-
to-
and-
I'm not
and-
trying to make this a fucking promo
And
show.
not to inflate any
It would
egos.
be weird if we did it. All 5 of us sitting here. 6 of us. Oh, shit. That wine's getting to me. The 6 of us, I mean, we're all involved in partners in this business. So it's really cool. Big shout out to Fitigu Academy.
I was going to say big shout out to Laura and Jazz, not to inflate any egos, but obviously I wouldn't.
Her head is fucking huge. I'm telling you right now.
Just saying, I don't think I
get
would have
it
taken the plunge on these kind of things if it wasn't for being around you guys and just seeing the level of confidence and entrepreneurship and guidance that you guys offer people. So, you know, big shout out to you guys. And one thing that I'm genuinely excited about, I've been on a crazy fitness kick for the past 2 months.
Yeah, bro, you're looking like it.
Been working out. I've been working out a little bit. I've been working out a little
Fashion
bit.
That's come in here.
Been
Yeah,
switching
was
into
this
the
like-
carnivore diet a little bit too, and just.
But hang on, what's up with the fashion? I gotta go there too. Like it's changed. Like
I don't know. I've just been feeling a little more,
Maybe
a
it's
little more
summertime.
summery. Part of losing the weight is getting rid of the hoodies. You know, want to
Things
show
fit a
off.
little
You can
bit.
unbutton some
things-
buttons,
No, but
you
you
I
know?
can unbutton
figured
some
out if
buttons.
you're all black, you're good. Like so, that's why I genuinely.
But I want to look at without the shirt. You know what I mean? I'm trying to
no,
get there. I'm trying to
okay,
get there, Jazz. I'm
okay,
trying to give me a couple
all
months
right,
though.
all right.
Give me a couple months. So that's kind of what it is. Just like taking the plunge on myself, going all in on yourself, whether it's through health, business, life, you know, whatever it is.
You off the fitness thing, like in terms of because you used to personal train. I know the story.
There might be a correlation with being hired here and gaining weight. I'm not 100% sure.
Whoopsie.
Between the food, the drinks,
Eat your feelings.
The funny thing is, people who are watching are probably gonna look at. Okay, makes sense. They look at my belly and they're like, "Oh, it makes sense." I'm not the one who's eating.
That wasn't a
around
jab.
here.
That wasn't a jab at
Who the
Jazz.
fuck is eating around here all the time? It's not me.
There's someone over there.
Actually-
Someone in this area.
Between the 2 girls, yeah.
So there might be a correlation between me getting hired here in 2020 and gaining a bunch of weight, but I don't know. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
Clyde and Tyler are like, what the fuck are you talking about? Look at them too.
Well, look, sorry, we're not all svelte like these guys.
I'm
you know?
also not the garburator anymore.
That used to be.
I used to be the garburator.
that title goes
all
to
the
Way.
time.
Shout out to Way.
I like that.
That goes to way.
I like that. Ty. Fuck, man. It's been 10 years with us, so not a lot of people know our story. You used to be the waiter downstairs at Jack Astor's, and you fucking have worked up the ladder so much that it's really cool to see. And now you're actually really going into the world of content and getting into your own and getting comfortable. And I think the coolest thing to see from my perspective is the consistency that you're coming out with, man.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I'm most proud about it because
Yeah. Is that what you're starting, man? Like, don't let me take take over. What are you excited about, man?
So what I'm excited about, I am very proud of myself, of my consistency for content, and that's not something that comes natural to me. And I talk about this a lot actually on my channel because, it's the way that I am is usually I'm a catalyst of sorts. Is I want to make everyone else bigger, and it's a very weird thing to put yourself in front and say, no, I can do this too. And that's been the biggest adjustment, but that's something that I've been most proud about this year because I've been very consistent with producing content, short form, long form, events, and it's been very fun. I can't believe how much fun producing content is.
You're making it fun for yourself, right?
For sure. And
What do you mean by that, though? How do you like how does somebody
Doesn't
make it
become
fun
a
for
task
themselves?
every day, right? Now you're eager to post what you just thought of.
Are you in that place too with all the
I think
content that
so.
you're coming out with?
What I've found,
Because you used to be behind the fucking camera. When I said the ones and twos,
1000%.
you know where that line comes from.
I was Bo
So-
and Clyde. Legit.
Like, they don't know. When I said
Any
behind...
ideas, you two? We need someone to operate this camera.
Yeah, that's true. When I said behind the ones and twos for 5 years, it's always been behind the ones and twos for me is Steven Rochester. So it's really cool to see, bro.
Well, yeah, to Ty's point, I think that's exactly what it is. It's you're excited about what the new content or the new idea that you just woke up about, and you're like, oh wait, I need to get that out. I want everybody to see this. I want to educate. You're leading by education, which is
I posted a short form piece last night or this morning at 12:30. I actually thought about it at 12:30 at night, and I was not that person last year, and that's been really fun. I find that on the content side, I do have a North Star metric in regards to every single piece of content has to hit this metric, and that metric is that I want real estate education. So my whole platform is about real estate education and investment focused, but I want the everyday person outside to be able to understand and to consume every single piece of content that I produce. And I will not post anything that doesn't hit that metric. And that has allowed me to stay consistent, because one of my faults I find is that I get gung-ho on something and I don't stay consistent with it. But this time I've done it now for 6 months consistently, almost every single
And that's
day.
rare for
producing.
a new person who starts doing content.
Yeah.
Because we've helped a lot of people and they get going. First month is like, yay, me. And then they fall off because it's hard to keep going. So kudos to all of you guys, really, because you've all actually, you make it past the 1 month mark. You got to make it past those 4 weeks and keep going. And consistency is the hardest part. It's not about how well each video does, because you never know what's going to pop. But just doing something every day is not easy.
Well, now that we're done with everybody's...
I just want to give
you're
Tyler some
excited
kudos
about,
really
everyone's
quickly.
done. We haven't missed
When you get a-
anybody.
when you get a sec.
We've spoken about everyone's what you were excited about.
Yeah,
We'll go-
I'm not important.
Huh?
Yeah, don't worry. Elto's just chopped liver.
Can I say something about Tyler really quickly?
Yeah.
'Cause it's fun-
Anything
it's-
just before we go.
take as much
Just
time as
don't
I
even
need
ask
to.
him about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
fucking time as you need.
They've turned
So
my
here's-
mic
I was
off. I'm
born
like
in
the Yoko
1990,
Ono, and they've
um,
turned my mic off.
Sorry,
Yo, that's because
I know
Yoko.
who Yoko
yo,
Ono
that's
is.
such
Yoko
a good.
Ono.
That's such a good one. Yoko Ono.
No, she's gonna go home. She's gonna think she got the best joke of the
Oh,
whole
Yoko
show.
Ono.
It's a
they
very
would
good
turn
reference.
her. You guys find this meme, maybe plug it in somehow in a short form piece of content where they're taking out her mic, and then they just stop playing her.
It's because it's John Lennon and then another guitar player who's a fantastic guitar player. And, I forget. I really. It's not Chuck Berry. I don't think it is Chuck Berry. But she starts doing this yodel
back, and they just sort of and mute.
She
yeah.
deserved the mute, probably.
Yeah, my kudos. So it's funny because you said you're a catalyst for helping other people grow.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things that comes out of you being so consistent with content is that you inspire other people to be as consistent as you are.
I appreciate that. That's
Right?
really
And
nice.
so it still comes back full circle, man.
Yeah. I'm just trying to be consistent with it, and I enjoy it actually, so that's really nice. But I'm going through a huge personal development stage in my life. So that's on the home with the kids and being a parent and being a husband and being a present, partner as well, with every change in our both organizations, right? So it's been fun, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow when I post something else.
And you got
honestly.
you got the best kicks in the world right now.
Yeah.
Your joke about Yoko Ono was because you were wearing the bell bottoms and like.
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
I'm
Is that what
vibing.
inspired it?
Yeah.
What has been? Tell us what's exciting in your life, Alto.
Yes, you're hurting my feelings.
Well,
now.
that was after all the
I
jokes
thought we were
about.
friends.
That was
Paid for him, but
that's what I was saying.
regardless.
Paid for, so that's what it was all
There's an
about.
actual asterisk there. Right? No one can see
Yeah.
it.
it's
like
so
s-
tiny.
And the asterisk is Laura.
And
Big
the
shout
lower
out-
fonts in
hey,
white
really.
so no one can see it.
Clyde, you did a great job with the logo there. I really, really like it. You guys should zoom in on it. We're very diverse. In everybody just went really quiet when I said that.
I was just like
Like, what is
looking
that,
at the character.
diversity.
I'm
There's no
like,
black guy there.
Yeah,
No, there is.
no
There's a
black
black
guy.
girl.
Awkward.
It's a black girl. Huh? There's no. I
Boys, Clyde.
I thought I actually thought we hit the black girl and everybody. No,
no,
Clyde, we gotta get a black
You
girl
need
or
a black
something
guy
in
in there.
there.
Come on.
We have to.
Right in
we
the
have
middle.
to. It has to be. Well, look.
Listen,
You
No
guys
comment.
are saying
No
it's
comment.
a girl with
Laura's-
a
No,
bun.
Laura has no comment.
turn it off.
Zero comment.
You,
Just
But what are you
you
excited
guys are not
about?
allowed
Laura?
to talk. Only me, Rochester. But hang on, listen.
You got 6
I
shades
actually
of
think
beige
it's
up
a
there,
guy
buddy.
with a turban.
Hey, don't.
You guys are saying it's a girl
beige,
with a
bro.
bun.
Chill.
I'm mocha.
Also, for real, girl.
Your turn,
Day
girl.
one.
What am I
Support-
excited
Day one supporter. I've been making a lot of jokes, and I will continue to make a lot of jokes. Day one supporter. All this content stuff. We started with a $75 mic. We probably have. I don't even know. There's a. I'm gonna take a wild guess. There's at least about $7,000 of equipment here. I could be wrong. Definitely in the room in
Each
there.
of us has a mic.
Started with. This started with a $75 mic.
Yeah.
You were there the day we bought it from Staples. It's kind of cool. All the jokes aside, you are definitely one of the friends that are not bought. But for real, what are you excited about?
It's funny. I think we're all kind of talking about like our own personal journey. So I'm gonna make this like very me focused for a
100.
second. I hope that's okay.
That's actually what it's all about. For
Um,
real.
And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I think I said something to you today, actually, earlier before we started recording this. Like, I just can't wait until I'm at that point where I don't give a fuck. And I'm not there, but I know I'm on that journey. Because when I first started producing content, or at least when you first started producing content, I was saying to you, like, you got to stop caring. You got to be more yourself. You got to be more authentic. And we were talking about that before all the buzzwords and people were teaching people how to do content. I just knew you needed to be yourself because you were so successful as you behind closed doors in meetings and sales pitches and things like that. So I said, well, let's put that online or let's put that on stage. And then when you start to produce content yourself, you still act almost in a way, and you want people to like you, and you don't want to be controversial, but you as a person are automatically controversial for whatever your skin color is or your gender or your sexuality or the things that you say and the feelings that you feel. And I've never gotten to that place where I felt like I could not say what I want, like there's a time and a place for everything, but like be who I am fully authentically. And I feel like this journey's gotten me closer to there and is starting to like percolate. Like I'm starting to feel like I can sit in that and be okay with it. Like I was
the
talking,
surface.
like someone was saying to me, like, Laura, you got to pull that post down because I look ugly in it. That's what happened today, right? So a piece of social media that I put up, the person that I was with, they didn't like how they looked and they wanted to pull it down. And I got to tell you, I feel like I looked way worse than this person in the post.
We would probably all say yeah.
Like I was like, I look like a 12-year-old boy with my hair pulled back and my bangs. Like it's awful. I have no makeup on. But like, so what? That's how I look sometimes, and like getting to that place where you just feel that kind of level of comfort is something I'm very, very excited.
Is that
Is
a
it a post or
challenge?
is it a story?
It's it's on YouTube. People can go
Is
check
that
out.
is that a challenge though? Because I've never experienced that. Like, do
You're too
the
pretty.
You don't got bangs.
Not all of us are as beautiful
No.
as you are.
I meant
Tyler.
more of like the people that you're speaking with.
I think
like,
women have that problem more than
I think everyone has it. It comes out
Men hide
differently
it
in men. They
better.
hide it differently. They won't say, I don't like how I look. They'll say something else.
Like, this is stupid.
Yeah, where a woman will be like, I look
We have more
ugly.
words than that.
Yeah,
Come on.
yeah. This is
Dumb.
like a woman will say it differently, and maybe men might not care as much how they look. I do think the world is harder on women, and women are harder on women, and we're harder on ourselves. I think what I've really just truly come to realize is like when I take a picture of my group of friends and then someone shows me that picture, I only look at me.
Oh yeah.
So
Does
like
not everyone do that? Hang
so
on one
no
second.
one's
For real,
looking at
If we took a picture right now, are you guys? It's a good like sample test or whatever you want to call it, right? If the crew took a picture of us right now, is not everyone looking at themselves first?
Yes.
right?
I look
So
at
no, and then
myself
they,
first.
people will say,
for
"What a
sure.
bad photo," but what you're really saying is, "I don't like how I look in it."
Yeah,
It's not
yeah.
a bad
100%.
photo. You don't like you.
I don't know if this is like
So,
a bad
but if
comment.
you
to make.
realize that, then when you think that someone actually might look at your photo and judge you, no one cares. Like how vain. To me, the word vain is
Yeah.
resonating with me lately because
Yeah.
it's like I think I'm so important that people are actually looking at me.
So
No
I
one
got something.
gives-
We all hang out with each other pretty often during a week. Anytime we think Alto's look overthinking maybe a post or something like that, we're gonna say to her, "You're being vain." You good with that?
That helps because then I'm like, you're right.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be vain. So
Exactly.
post it. Let's move on.
So what's is a metric quantity or quality is for content? Is that more? What's more important?
I think both, right? Like in my opinion, it would be both. You want good quality, but I think quality is tough to tell. Like lighting quality, sound quality.
That's
you know,
harder to
like,
that's harder
right?
to measure.
You know what?
But in terms of like what you're saying and if it resonates, some of my best posts are the ones where I look the worst. The lighting's actually not that great, and sometimes the audio's not that great. But what I'm saying resonates with my target market, and my target market isn't Tyler's. But you and I sometimes think that we have the same target market, and I think that's where people get it wrong because they're trying to be something for everybody. And if it's like I'm just trying to talk to women who are my age, struggling with the same things that I'm struggling, which might be like, hey, I got my first gray hair. Let's talk about that. And you might be like, why is that a problem? Well, you don't have gray hairs, and you're not a woman, and you don't know the process of dyeing your hair.
I'm
and all
surprised I
those
still have hair at this point.
right?
Honestly,
So
That's
it's like, you know, like talk to your target market. They will get it, and it will land, and those will get views.
I still think, and maybe I'm wrong, and people are watching this and saying, "Yo, bro, the quality of this sucks ass." The audio does. Bo's like giving me the eyes already, saying you're moving your mic a lot. Now I'm trying to stick to the mic so people hear it. Hear the audio better.
How was I, Bo? I was good, yeah.
I'm like
We're
throwing
better
it
than
around
Jazz.
like
We're
a
better
fucking.
than Jazz.
See how the picture thing actually just came around? Like all you care about is your audio, all right? We all just because it's the quality is so different for everyone else, like what they perceive as quality. I personally, and I think everyone who's been around me long enough knows that the more shots that you take, the better chance you're going to have to score in hockey, hit a home run in baseball, score a basket in basketball, hit a get a touchdown in football. That I just think quantity is the key for the fact of what I just said, that you're going to have a higher probability of hitting, but then also what will come out of that is what is more quality. And I'll talk about it from like personal experience. I think it actually took 5 fucking years for us in terms of a media squad, and Nikki, Steven, others who have been on our crew weren't necessarily able to get the flowers for it because they weren't here when it hit, and both Clyde and Bo were. But I'm glad that these two are here with me now, Nikki and Rochester. But I think it took 5 years, guys, for us to actually, out of all the quantity that I put out, for us in the last 6 months to get the quality out. And I'll explain what I mean by that. It took 5 years for us to get consistently 50 to 60,000 views on videos, specifically call it the gram, that correlated in getting a minimum of 1,500 followers from those videos. Like, we hit pay dirt. In football, they'll call it pay dirt when you score a touchdown. That's what it took us 5 years. And now we got the quality. We know what works. We know the quality works so well. We just know exactly which video to put up. The only reason we don't put it up every day, we're like, let's not give it to them every single day. For whatever reason.
They can
That's
want more.
So is
We
it
want the
is
one
it that at the beginning you say consistent
quantity.
quantity,
And then people will always ask how much. As much as you can do.
More.
and then
More.
You said the word,
The answer
and
is
because
more.
there's a commercial, one of my favorite commercials, Kobe. It's a Nike commercial, Kobe, and there's Kanye. You know what I'm talking about, Rochester. Kanye is in the crowd. Anthony Robbins is in the crowd. Like 7-8 celebrities, and they're like, "But Kobe, how many times should I do it?" And he's like, "More." When should I? More. And that's all the Nike commercial is all about. It's
him
just
on stage.
Kobe saying on stage,
Yeah.
he's just like, more. Just do more. I want more. And it's the same.
Whatever
shit,
you're
right?
doing, wherever you're at. do
More.
And you might say it's hard, and it is hard.
Yeah.
Or do the same, and then but get the same results.
Yeah, we figured like we changed up some things from the content, not much from doing the quantity, but we just one video hit and we're like, oh shit, do that again, worked again. We're
But
like, oh,
everyone sees you now, I bet, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, how can I have that tomorrow? Right? Like,
Right.
it's like, oh, you got that easy.
Yeah.
It's like they didn't realize, like, you put out videos that no one was watching for years.
Oh, I would text Steven
No
at
offense.
fucking midnight.
Like, no
Good
offense.
jabs.
No holdback.
Like,
No one
Like
watched.
little sly jabs, like that.
No one
Guys,
watched
like,
them
hello,
for years.
I was watching though. I was watching an old one of the old JTPs like years ago.
Yeah.
And it's just so different.
Yeah.
It's so different.
For
from
sure. So it's quantity, man.
what's being done now.
I think it's quantity in anything you do, right? Like we obviously talk a lot about sales calls and stuff like that, but everything, like whatever you guys are doing personally, I just suggest as much as you can do it because you will figure out what is working. I think what really comes out of it is what you like to do. You know what I mean? Like you might do something, i.e. like Laura has a show, Rochester has a show, like they have long form shows that they're doing. The more you do it, you're either going to come to realize, and I think I'm speaking for both of you, but you guys will cut me off. You like it. But unless you did fucking 25 of them, you'll never know if you actually like sitting there with somebody for 35, 45 minutes. Maybe on the
Just
river.
one. You kind of know after one.
Do you?
I think.
You think?
One long form piece of content.
Like when you do it for 35 minutes, you're like, oh, I either like this or I don't
Well,
like
if
it.
you hated it,
Yeah,
I mean,
maybe.
I like if you end it and you go, I thank God it's over because I had anxiety because I wanted it to be good.
Yeah.
But like you also have a bit of a high.
Yeah.
And you're like, I want to talk to somebody and I want to tell them about it. You probably like it. Like that's like a tell to me that you enjoyed it.
Yeah, content's funny like that, right? Because everyone here is creating content. I know Tilly's just fucking like, I can't wait to fucking give me more camera. When you get comfortable with it, I don't think there's anyone out there that doesn't like it. Because when you start getting comments back like, oh, I really enjoyed that video or you inspired me.
'Cause we're all
That's
vain.
a fucking
I think it's
drug.
the-
like-
You're so
all
vain.
The name of this episode is "Don't
You're
Be
vain.
Vain."
But I don't think it's the comments.
Episode's about you.
I don't think it's the comments on the app though. I think it's the one-on-one comments when
Or when you're just walking.
like when you're walking, like when you go and see somebody you haven't seen, and this has happened to me now, and which is a small window because I've only really started doing it this year, where they pull me to the side. I'm at an event with all my friends. We're like, yo, I really like this one. That's really
cool.
nice.
Yeah,
And
it's
you would have
cool when
never
people are like-
known because they never.
They
liked
know
it,
stuff
they never
about you, and you're like,
commented,
I
they
don't know you.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's a weird feeling. It's
Yeah.
a bit of, I guess, that celebrity-dom in a small way.
Right.
That none of us prior to any of this would have really known, and it's kind of
But
Kinda
like
cool.
Alto, you never know who is
I'll be
hearing
back.
your messages because, like you were saying, when you were at that leadership conference, the women leadership conference, and someone came up to you and they're like, "Oh, Laura," you're like, "Hey,
Hey. And she was like, so tell me about XYZ. I can't remember. Oh, I saw that you bought this new thing and you did this facial procedure. And I was like, why do you know so much?
Because she's watching.
Because she's
you.
watching. I'm like, someone's actually watching?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's why for me it's been so weird because it's been a $75 mic that I always go back to. I probably said it to you not too long ago. Just something came into our world and I was like, I remember that $75 fucking mic.
We have it on our wall. In our
Is it
office.
the
Yeah,
blue
it's here.
Yeti?
Like we
Yeah,
kept
the
it here,
blue
right?
Yeti.
Because we knew that we were gonna have fun with it. I just never saw like, oh shit, we're gonna meet this guy Rochester who's gonna come in and do landing pages with us, and I think he's fucking designed like one landing page in 5 years for me. Because then we figured out something else that he enjoys to do, and now when I see his podcast on the side, I'm like, fucking guys never fucking text me to ask me to be on his fucking podcast. And
Because
then
I
today
gotta.
he asked me,
I already
and that's
know
it.
what. There's a strategy. Don't worry about it. You're up. You're
I
coming
fucking
up.
Build it and they will come.
He skipped all the bullshit stuff that we
called
had to go
another
through. It's like, no,
episode.
but it's like
That's
nice
the
looking. Like
coolest name.
like ours was not nice looking. It's like, oh, really
I know
went
he
right
has,
for
like
the.
the 6 set there, but you look so
Right.
comfortable, and you look, for me anyways, brother, you look happy, and that's
No,
the
and that's what
coolest
it is.
thing
It's fun, and I know what you now. I see what you get out of it. You know, it's connecting with your peers and your colleagues and sharing space with each other sharing stories, and then what happens offline afterwards, that connection that happens. So it just opens up a lot of doors, right?
It
so
does.
yeah.
It does. And even when I said
Even if the podcast never comes out, like sitting
100.
down with somebody that you've aspired to be, or
Knowing our
looked
egos,
up
it comes
to.
out every time. But
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah, exactly, right. But then you want to again back to that point. You're so excited, you want to get this out. You want to let everybody see, like, yo, look what I just did.
We're
right?
all kids inside
1000%.
who are like, "Mommy,
I
Look
just
at
finished
me.
my
did you
project.
see? Did you
Can
see
I-
me dive in the pool? Did you see it?
Right.
Did you see it?"
every time you do a TLS, like, tell them your name of your show, by the way.
The Laura Show.
Is
It's
that, like,
very
every-
good. Well,
every-
Stephen didn't help
ev-
me with that. Had I known, I would have stolen his.
Yeah, I know. Every time you do that, is that you? Like what Tilly was saying, like, Mommy, look at my.
Like I want someone to like. I immediately look at my videographers, Alex and Way, and I'm like, so.
What do you-
Even the guest, I'm like,
Like,
what
how
did
was
you
it?
think? And they're like, maybe you tell me first. I'm like, no, I need to know. I need to know.
Nikki, you thinking about doing any long form stuff, brother? Like you're obviously doing a lot of short
So-
form. You coach our
You
crew
had
and
a
stuff
pod
like that.
first.
So there's a bunch of things going on. I mean, first of all, most of my business is shooting podcasts, so I get sick of them after a little while. But actually, in 2020, before I got hired, me and my friend Sergen were shooting a podcast in my apartment, and we released 3 or 4 episodes. We did pretty well too, like
How
organically.
did we not
after-
know this? In 2024?
in
This year?
2020.
Yeah, you did.
Oh,
We're
2020.
sorry, I
we
thought you were talking about
hired
this
Nikki.
year.
That
Yes,
was
yes,
the
yes,
resume.
yes,
That was
yes.
a part of it. we were looking at.
So we shot a little podcast in my
Don't lie,
apartment.
Steven.
Just talking.
Nobody saw his resume. We don't look at resumes.
I
here.
No, my
I
website.
went
on
in
my
and looked
website.
at his.
Yeah, you would have saw it.
Definitely saw it.
And so, we actually shot a podcast. Ended up getting like a couple hundred views per episode after only doing 3 or 4. Got some good feedback on it, and then obviously life got busy because I got hired at a full-time job
A
versus
damn
just
full-time job.
they'll get you. Now I got
Damn
the time
fucking
for
jobs.
it though. So it's definitely been on my mind for sure. I just don't have an excuse for why I haven't been doing it. I should be doing it. I've even been slacking on my short-form content as well for social media because to you guys'
But
point.
like you said, right? Sometimes you talk to like interior designers. I get that a lot from them. Like if you go to their homes, they're not actually designed well. Like it's a mess. You
Yeah.
go to like chefs, they're like, bro, man, I fucking go home and
cooking.
I put a little fucking
Grilled
burger
cheese.
together,
Yeah.
grilled cheese. You know what I'm
Fucking
saying?
cakey.
Yeah, exactly. It's that like because you're shooting them all. You're like, this is kind of boring. I don't really want to
Yeah.
do it.
I mean, mine would be more fun than my clients. I'm just gonna say that, but
And is it that your content you want to be very polished because that's what you're
No.
trying to sell?
no, I actually don't. I care way less than the people I shoot for about how my stuff looks.
Because you know it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. But
Just
no,
doing it.
I think it's just a matter of doing it and then finding my niche within that and where I'd want to take it. So I'm kind of still thinking about that. Obviously, it's somewhat content related because that's where I pay my bills with right now. But I think I'd want to go a little bit outside of that too and just have a little more fun with it. So this is definitely inspiring me.
well,
Our conversation. So
the segue of inspiring people is interesting because no matter what, I could do a 7-second video. I can do a 7-hour marathon that I've done before, closer to 12 hours. I'm always leaving people with the thoughts of they're going to leave in a better place than when they came to my world. And that might be in person, watching, whatever it is. And so before we even try to inspire the people that are watching right now, for me anyways, it's important to leave you guys in a very positive place. I can't remember. It was probably about 7 years ago. I sat on a boat with a few of the people that are actually here. And at the end of maybe 6-7 hours of drinking, a game came up that was quite interesting to me. And I thought to myself, I'll never know when I ever bring this back into my world, but it will come back. And so as we go through this process that we're about to go through, and I will put the hardest part of this process on myself at the end, and I'll explain what that means. But I hope the people that are watching, maybe you can take the time to do this with your friends, family, whatever it may be, specifically friends, because probably a couple of months after I did this, I lost somebody very important in my life after this moment in time. And I'm so glad that I got to go through this process with him, because if I didn't, I never would have heard something and things that I heard that day. And again, as I was talking to my boys, Clyde and Bo, behind the 1s and 2s, I was like, man, no matter what, Jas and Friends, I don't care it will always leave people in a positive place. And people can come here and never come back because they get bored of it. But that's who I am. And that's why the people around me are that as well in some degree. And so that process that we went through that night was interesting. We're going to go through it again. And none of you guys know what I'm talking about, which is the best fucking thing in the world.
I was there.
And so was Tai Tai.
I don't remember it.
Tell,
6-7 hours of drinking that went
tell
on
the
that day.
people whose idea it was. Because I like flowers. Because
But you take flowers that are not
What
even
is
yours.
it? Which game?
Don't
You take flowers
be
that are not
vain.
even. Don't be vain.
I'm so vain.
This
I
is
That
need
is
the
the name of
flowers.
this.
I need it all.
All right.
I
So
can buy
I
my
came up with this
flowers.
game that night, and so all right, Alto did. Alto did come up with this game, and so I personally think the person who goes at the end, it's the hardest because they have to, just like everyone else has to, come up with something different than everyone else. So I will put myself on the spot. It obviously gives me a little bit more time, but it actually puts me on the spot at the end because I have to come up with something different. And this is the game, and this is the process. I really, really hope people who are watching, 7 of you, 7,000 of you, 7 million of you in 7 years, you go through this process at some point. And the process is we're going to go one by one, and each of us are going to tell each person one thing that they like about that person. We've been lucky enough to know each other for a very, very long time. Tilly, to my left, has just come into my world physically in the last few months, but virtually, in all honesty, it's always been virtually and kind of on and off for a few years. Mm-hmm. You're more than like this is going to be just as easy as for everyone else. And so I'm just going to put people on the spot right now. We'll start with Alto.
And I say something nice about every single person.
You say one thing
quick
thing nice that
I
has
don't have.
either.
What if you don't have something nice?
Yeah, there's impossible for that to happen because I know the crew
Lie.
around. So you got to go through this, and we're gonna go to Ty, to Nikki, to Rochester, to Tilly. Will come to me at the end.
I was really drunk when I suggested this.
I'm not gonna lie.
Obviously, you don't
I
remember this.
Tyler doesn't even remember this.
What did I say about
Hey,
you guys?
I was gonna say Rochester was there, which I think
was not.
he was.
No.
No, he wasn't.
No, he does
there.
the Irish goodbye.
Yes, he
Yeah,
does the
yeah.
Irish goodbyes. That's
Yeah,
his
he-
problem. That's
Well, he's
his problem.
part Irish. It's in the beard. Okay, so I'm starting.
You're starting.
Okay, Jazz, what I like best about you is you're a dreamer, and like you believe in things that like most people would laugh at, and that's very inspiring. I think it's exciting. It's stupid at times 'cause it is stupid and it's not realistic, but it's like the child in you, and that's pretty cool. So that's fun to be around. Tilly is a child.
I am.
Tilly is 100% a child. That girl can talk and talk and talk. So if you ever need to talk to anybody, you talk to Tilly because she'll listen. You're also a great listener, but you're also a great communicator. And you have a lot of energy that I think that you bring to this crew, all of our people who are in our programs. They feel very touched by you. Rochester's a funny one because
That's a good one.
Well,
It's
it's like you've
No, you
always
can finish there. That's
No,
just
no,
funny.
like, funny. No, you've always been so cool, calm, and collected. Whenever you've been behind the camera, like it's like if Rochester was in the room, I was very confident, like he's got this, and that's a very like nice feeling for people to know that somebody isn't as frantic as me, and I'm very frantic and I'm very high anxiety. So knowing that there's someone that's just like, girl,
And sometimes vain.
I got this. No, he's not vain.
You.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. And that's always been fantastic because it's a very peaceful person to have in my presence. So I love having you around because you like bring me back down to like the planet. Yeah. He's like, I got you. I'm like, thanks. Okay. Nikki, holy shit. Nikki, holy shit,
exciting
because
introduction.
Nikki has played every single role in every business that we've ever done and has taken it in absolute stride and has always come to the table with great ideas, and you've always said like, I'm willing to try. And some people just say no right off the bat, and you're always like maybe. And I think that's a fantastic quality in you, and that's going to get
Thank
you
you.
very far.
I appreciate
I'm
that.
going to start crying.
Oh, I'm already tearing, so I'm just gonna like. I'm
And
just like,
Tyler, Tyler.
1 second before you go there, just really quickly. This is why I tell people why I said you have to
It's gonna
do
take
this
forever.
at some point with your friends and family, because you will leave them in a much more positive place than when they came to you. And if you can notice what's going to happen when everyone leaves, there's 6 people, but they've heard a lot of positivity about themselves. And with so much negativity happening outside in the world, if you don't fill up your own fucking cup, somebody will drain everything that's left in your cup. Is that like mic drop?
Yeah, mic drop.
You know what I'm saying?
I checked out a while ago. I'm trying to think of Tyler. No. Okay. Tyler and I started in this business with Jas the exact same month of the exact same year. So we've literally been doing this together the entire time. I watched him grow up. I guess I grew up then too, but you were like in your 20s. You really grew up. And I've seen you become such an incredible man. Like legit, if you weren't already married, you could date any of my friends. Like I don't say that about everybody.
And I can.
You're such a good
chill with your
human.
family.
Yeah, and you can come and have dinner with my family
Okay,
anytime.
perfect.
We'll smoke some weed.
Yeah.
It's legal. It's legal.
Shout out to your
My
fam.
fam, they would take you in happily. But one thing I think in the last couple years I've really noticed about you, which strikes me as interesting, is your level of self-awareness. How quickly you can say something and then while you say it, you catch yourself and you're like, no, it's my fault, or no, I shouldn't say that, or no, like you take on a lot of accountability, and not necessarily like you're always that way, but you catch yourself so quickly. And I find that an interesting quality, because I don't think a lot of people out there truly reflect as much as you do, and certainly not as quickly as you do.
That's not one I expected, and I appreciate you. And I take that approach to my life because you shouldn't blame yourself on the instantaneous reaction. A knee-jerk reaction is something you cannot control, but what you can control is how you react the second after that knee-jerk reaction.
I love how Tyler's supposed to be talking about everyone else, and then he still just talks about himself.
I'm
I
not even-
fucking
We're never
Love
going to get
you.
through this podcast. It's going to be 6 hours long.
love you.
Okay, so well, I was gonna say what I love about myself, so now I'm not gonna say that.
That's what I was saying.
What I love about myself.
What I love about myself is that I'm so selfless.
I am humble.
Okay,
Reflect,
this
Tyler,
way.
reflect.
So, Laura, what I love about you is that when I'm in a state that I'm not calm, which is a small percentage of the time, you are the best person to sit with, because you help me understand what my thoughts are and the best way to actually move from it. And it's really nice to have somebody that is very solid to bounce ideas from.
Yeah. Sorry. 10 years, bro.
Jas, what I love about you is your lack of fear of trying something new. It's unbelievable. It seems like it's your foresight that is incredible, but I really think it's that you trust the people around you so much that you know that even if it doesn't work out, it isn't because we don't try. And your ability to trust the process and to try new things is incredible, because at the end of the day, you're the one that is at most risk, and it's very inspiring. It's the reason why for some reason that for a part of me is the way that I am now. Tilly, I love how organized you are. It is unbelievable how organized you are.
I'm not organized.
Tilly every single day comes to me with like these spreadsheets, these like to-do lists and everything, and it helps me, because one of the things that I do that I'm working on, but that I do not great, is the focus aspect. And you keep me so focused, and it's been so nice to have you around, because you keep things moving, and that's incredible. Steven, what I love about you is especially this year, I'm very proud of you, because you took a big step and you did it without regret. And that is so inspiring. And it's one of the reasons why I'm staying consistent, because I see the stuff that you're doing. And Nick, what I'm proud about you is that you made a big change of your life personally, and you are are such a bright light, and you are someone that I look at that has such a solid moral compass, and
That means a
that
lot, man.
is
Thank you.
that's very inspiring. And what I love about myself is
Hang on, Nikki.
a
please.
lot faster than
and,
mine.
I love
and
me.
Nikki,
You might
really
get
quickly before you go, I think it's important, right? Because a lot of people have a hard time taking compliments. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we're not used to that shit because most people tell us all the shit that we're not good at. You know what I'm saying? But there is a skill in taking in a compliment, because you have to listen to it because someone else is actually telling you it. It's interesting, man. Just go ahead.
Yeah, so I'll start with Tyler. I think one of my favorite things about you would be your drive and your dedication. You know, you work so hard. You do so many different things. You work for 2 organizations. You're building a personal brand. You're raising 2 beautiful children and having a family. Man, it's super inspiring to just see you on your day to day and everything that you're doing, and it's really cool.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
Thanks.
Laura, I think one of my favorite things about you is that you're a great listener. When it comes to, back when I was employed, if something was going on in our lives, like I loved your openness to hearing out what people are going through and gaining perspective as to why they kind of are who they are, or what they're doing based on what they're going through. And I think that's a huge thing, especially as someone who's, an employer and manages people. Like that's a huge trait to have, and it's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Jazz, the man. For me, I think my favorite thing about you is how inspiring you are for other people, and your ability to pull people out of their comfort zone, myself included. I think over the past 3 years, I've really stepped out of my comfort zone, and my growth has been huge. And I think a big part of it is just being around someone as crazy as you. Tilly, I got to say, you're probably one of the most positive people that I've had the pleasure of being around. Kind of what Ty said about me, you're just a beacon of light, and if we're having a bad day, a rough day, or whatever it is, Tilly's always there to make you laugh and smile. And so I think that's such a huge thing to have in our lives, and very grateful you came into ours. Mr. Rochester himself, the man himself. I think the best part about you is your ability to answer almost every question that someone brings to you. You always have a good answer. You always have a good answer, whether it's tech related, business related, life related. He's always got a nice little 1-2 to drop on
He's
you.
like Socrates, this guy.
He was like, just life.
Yeah. You're right. Damn it. I wish I had that answer.
So yeah, that's my answer for Steven.
I love it. Rochester, you're up, bro.
I'm gonna be quick. 10 words or less.
Yes.
Tilly, I love your.
went the wrong way, too. I love it. Do it up.
I love your vibe. You are just the queen of vibes every day. You already know it's gonna be a good vibe when Tilly's around. Bad like Jazzy. Jazzy is just the guy that will take a chance on anyone that's willing to work, anyone that's willing to show up. If you're willing to show up, you can show out, and he will pay you for it. Okay, so Jazz is the guy. Hit him up.
100, hit me up. Yeah, you
cell
want
phone
to get
number
paid,
is
and you're going to will to. I love that.
Laura's just the mom of the group. She keeps us under control and under wraps.
That's right.
Keeps the train moving. Otherwise, I don't even know if we would be here today. So, Laura, love you for that. Ty is just the guy I want to be someday. You know what I mean? Like,
Thank you.
Ty's just a great
Man like
father,
Ty.
amazing, just businessman, smart guy, always willing to help. He's stand-up guy, just all-around stand-up guy.
Appreciate you.
Nicky B's my right-hand man. He's the guy we hired to replace me. And he's taken that role and ran with it. And honestly, man, I don't know if we could have done this without you anyways, right? So appreciate you so much, bro.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
You're a good coach, bro.
Thank
You really are a
Thank
good
you.
coach.
Big ups to personal training for that.
100%. TM,
All right.
the dean.
The dean.
The dean. Every time I think of like the dean of the academy, I'm like, I'm in fucking trouble. Like, whose office am I going to? I
You're
know.
the dean.
I know. So it's kind of like
You
a mind
dean
fuck.
people. You don't get deaned.
No, I know. I'm gonna start with you, Rochester. So Fun thing about Rochester, when he came into the office one day, we had a meeting, and I was in a mood. He's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I'm in a mood. He's like, you hungry? I'm like, yeah. He's like, for what? I'm like, fried chicken. He's like, get in my car. I'm like,
For real?
for real.
I
Nick was you were there. Nick was
What did
We
he
got
take you,
Popeyes that
Popeyes?
day. Yes.
We went to Popeyes.
Yes.
Like, I was in a mood. Like, I
Was that
in
racist?
a
No, I'm
mood, and these two guys.
I'm uncomfortable with this line of talk.
I know. Trust me, Rochester eats 3 places: Popeyes, Harvey's, and
Harvey's
Jerk
for
Chicken.
sure.
Yeah.
Oh, and a Pizza Nova.
If Harvey's is
Pizza
watching
Nova.
right now, Harvey's is still
Pizza
number
Nova.
one.
Harvey
Pizza Nova.
sponsor this immediately.
Yeah, no,
Popeyes
100
Canada. Sponsor
Another
us.
episode on
Harvey's
YouTube.
Sponsor us.
Sponsor. Yes.
So yeah, like with Rochester, it's like we've had many one-on-ones, and like the fact that he's like, you need to continue being the vibe. I'm like, I am too much of myself, and
When
I
do
do.
you guys have these one-on-ones?
Don't you worry
I
about
know, I'm not worried. I'm just curious. Like, I love it. It's so
it's-
cool to see. Thank you.
It means a lot to have someone to just be like, you need to continue being crazy. I'm like, are you sure? He's like, yeah. So love you, Nick.
Hey.
You brought me back to my faith, so that is one thing that I definitely want to thank you for. Nick has, since like day one, Nick was like my work BFF. He had absolutely no decision in this. I just bestowed it upon him.
It's true. She came up to me one day. She's like, "You're my best friend. You can't back out of this."
Yeah, and then Nick's like, okay. And no, but yeah,
I've since embraced the role.
yes,
You
100%.
didn't have a choice.
No, he
True.
didn't.
So I had to embrace it.
I just showed up and I went, bestie. And he's like, shit, okay. All right. I'm here for it. Slay.
But it worked out.
It did. So thank you very much for always just being just you. Honestly, like when quick story, my daughter was in the hospital for like a general checkup, but like as a new mom, obviously like I'm tripping out super duper hard and like just crying, and Nick's like, she's gonna be okay. Let's pray. Like, let's pray together for her right now. Everything's gonna be okay. And like that really got me through the day. So you keep being that
Big
literally
shout out to
North
God
Side.
for
Big
that
shout
one.
out to God for helping us every day, all day, forever.
Amen.
Amen to that. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you. Thank you for your kind words.
Ty.
Hi.
Literally, like the day I started here, and it's like I was just like volunteering like one day a week because I was on mat leave, and I'm like, I need to not be with my baby all the time. Shout out to my precious child. I love you. Mom loves you so much. But yeah, so when I was volunteering, and the second I met Ty's just like, you're awesome. Fist pumps. Let's kill it. And we have, I swear, have been best friends since. Like, you keep me organized.
How many best friends do you have
I get
now
to have
in the group? Like, I'm starting to question.
unlimited.
First of all, the show is called Jas and Friends, not Tilly's best
I
friends.
think she's saying this about you.
Oh, I'm getting to jazz. I'm
You're
getting.
our
Everyone
bestie.
gets a little TLC from Miss Tilly, but like Ty, honestly, like you help me. Like I'll bring parenting stuff to you, and you're right there. Like you are such an amazing coach to all of our immersioners, all of our coworkers here. Like you're always like, you are the yes guy. There is no.
It's always my fault.
It-
I don't know. Like that's just.
Not even possible. Like you truly are amazing. Like I know that we have very similar personalities. Like we both bartended, and so it's
Yeah.
like our work ethic. I know stems from like the Friday night bars or
Similar
the Saturday.
personalities.
Oh yeah. Oh, I see that. 100%.
all right,
100%.
all right.
But like Ty, you just keep
So
keep being
quiet,
awesome.
Brenter.
He's
It's
so
Appreciate
what?
you.
Quiet.
Oh,
Tyler? Yeah.
Am I quiet? Is that how?
Well, in comparison, like I'm just trying to see.
well, female, male, you know, it's just somewhere in the middle. If we're the same.
Well, it's nice though because we work really closely together too.
We really
right?
do, but
So
that's the thing.
good.
It's like we know what hard work is, and it's like at any point, and if I'm like, you need to do X, Y, Z, you're like done.
Yeah.
And if you come to me, you're like ABC, you're like X, Y, Z, let's go, fist pump.
It is really nice that we are system oriented.
We are system
And
oriented.
that does help
Yeah,
for sure.
100%.
Appreciate
Over to
it.
me. Over to me. My turn.
Okay, so I might.
I didn't even know whose turn it was, but yeah, you knew whose fucking turn.
All right, so I might.
What?
Playing
Sorry.
into
One
it, I'm
second.
playing
Rochester,
into the vein.
what's the title of this episode again?
Don't be vain.
Yes.
Don't
Put her
be
fucking
Laura.
picture on it,
Don't
please.
be
Put
Laura.
her on the thumbnail.
Be vain.
Don't be vain. Don't be Laura.
No,
It's my turn. It's my turn.
not even possible.
Move over, Tyler. That's
Time,
enough.
Jesus.
Puts your mic down slowly out of your
Can't
hand.
take it anymore.
Honestly, what can I say about alto?
Give
like
it 3 seconds, please.
Laura,
Only 3 seconds.
Only 3 seconds.
Laura's the type when it's her karaoke song, she has to get the mic for karaoke.
Yes,
She pushes
and
people
you do
aside.
Freebird.
We've never
Yeah,
done
Bohemian
karaoke. Maybe we
Rhapsody.
should.
We definitely have though.
I
'cause
love
we
about
tagged.
lobster, Chinese lobster after. I fucking love Chinese
No.
lobster. I'm in the mood.
Facts.
But the one thing that I definitely love and appreciate about you is that like you see this whole mess and you're like, you're loved. We love you. Like there's so many times where I had panic attacks in front of Alto and she's like, I'm not firing you. You are loved.
What are
We
you
love
panicking
you.
about?
Well, and
Even
A,
when
you're
we
not a
said we were
mess.
gonna fire her,
like,
you
I just woke up with anxiety, be like,
what are you
everyone
panicking
hates
about?
me. And again, that comes back to that little T, the little trauma about leaving corporate and coming to a very welcoming and
corporate?
loving.
On paper,
Oh,
on
Steven's
paper,
never
brother.
worked in corporate.
You have
It's real corporate.
Russia, you never worked in corporate.
So I've also never worked in corporate.
Neither have I.
Is it a big
This is
difference?
as corporate
Oh,
as it
Oh
gets.
my God, you've never worked in. Oh,
Yo.
I worked at CNBC.
Tilly and I know
That's
corporate.
not
Yeah.
corporate.
I would
Like
Like,
I've
CNBC,
worked
that's
tie-tie.
corporate.
I
Wore a
worked
suit,
at
Steve. He
bank
wore a
For
suit.
years, I worked at. Oh
Like,
my
you
God.
cannot sneeze without approval from 10 people.
Crazy.
Are you serious?
100,000,000%. And so that's why I'm saying, like, coming from corporate into this area, like, startup, call it a startup, winning 100% startup.
And the decision is yours to make.
Yeah, and that's what it is. It sits on you, and you're like, I have 100 people I need approval from, and I'm like, oh my gosh, no, they trust me. That's what it is.
You're the only approval girl.
Yeah. And
Trust
so,
your gut.
It's your lane. That's
No.
what it is. It's reality. It's
No.
your lane.
but that's like the
you
biggest
drive the
thing that
car.
like Alto taught me is just like we trust you, we believe in you, and we love you, and like, oh my gosh, we all need to hear that. And like, okay, I'm gonna cry, but
Don't
like,
cry, don't cry.
I'm not okay.
It's happy tears. It's
You're
good.
allowed
Let them
Cry,
out. Let 'em
girl.
out.
You do whatever the fuck you
But
want.
so
See, that's the whole
The only
point.
downside of
Be
you
you.
crying right now, I'll tell you right now, is because later on, it might be tomorrow, or the day after, Laura's
Because
gonna
we
be
can't
like,
move on until to say what Jazz has to say about me.
No, I'm just saying, like, I love you. That's all that
no,
matters.
it's the
Thank
fact
you
that
for
you're,
taking.
you're gonna be like, Tilly cried when it came to me, not to anyone else. That's gonna be.
I'm like,
No.
you're good, you're good. Like,
No,
like,
but I found my tribe. That's
Look at
what
the
you
boys.
said.
The
You
boys
said, girl.
fucking know too. Look at the fucking two. They know.
Guys, make sure we clip this one. For you.
Yeah. No, but no, like honestly,
what
you
they think of me is the Instagram reel.
you took a chance on
Title,
me.
What?
That's what it is. You took a chance on me. You saw all
That was a great little lunch we had.
of this, and you're like, yes.
Tilly, we needed you, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
You're
we
the
needed
right
you.
missing
Amount
piece,
of-
girl.
You were the
Crazy.
misfit that we didn't have.
Yeah. But then, Jazz, I'm gonna keep this short and sweet.
Yeah, right.
Jazz wants a long one, too.
I thought.
You my homie.
I'm him, so I'm good.
You're my homie.
He's him.
He's him.
Like, short and sweet. If you're over 18 and you have a heartbeat, you go into the database.
That's it.
That's it. Jazz is like, fire, girl. Let's go. Yeah, that's it. And now I'm on the team. Like, you should hear this man sell me to people, and I'm like, I would fucking hire me. I would hire me in a heartbeat.
I love you.
Love you.
Towards you, Tilly.
That
guess
is
that leaves it to
correct.
me. And so I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna touch on things that nobody else touched on. Bobo, we good with audio. It's actually easy for me to do that because I get obviously to see you guys through my own lens, and so Alto, I really value hard work a lot because my father was a taxi driver his whole life, and you guys have heard the story. But when you see a man work 24 hours, like legit 24 hours in a day, and then not work the next day and then go to work, and he did that for 35 years, and then you see a mother who went to the factory, didn't know how to speak English, lost her hearing because nobody told her that you're supposed to wear earplugs in the factory, and she doesn't have her hearing. You see hard work, and then you see them pinch pennies. My family, my blood, who I'm married to, and others in my core circle, all I know is hard work. It's why I value hard work so much. You're one of the hardest working people I've ever seen in my life.
It's a great compliment. Thank you.
And
Wow,
I
shout
know
out Laura with that one. That's
Yeah.
wild. That's,
Tyler, I have
that's
two
such a
older
good one.
brothers.
I believe it though.
I have
But
two
that's a
older
really good
brothers
one.
whom have made me the man that I am. Other than my father, obviously, and a couple of mentors that I've had having 2 older brothers has been the best thing in my life. It's actually a massive role, massive reason I'm sitting here. And they'll watch this. I know them. And one day we'll have them on here. They loved me so much as a younger brother. I was never blessed to have a younger brother until I met you. It's why I give you and try to give you so much. It's why sometimes my reaction to the things you say might be in haste. It's only because that's how they spoke to me. I only know how to give love the way it was given to me. I'm not perfect. It's the only way I know how to do it. I will always have you as a younger brother forever.
It's felt.
Nikki, one thing I never realized until very, very recent, and it was always in the surface, and I think you just need to lean into it even more, my brother. And it's in a funny way, I actually look to you for it, is how much you play in that right part of your brain, which is the creativity part of the brain. You have given me so many ideas of recent that not a lot of people even know because I don't mention it as much. But I want you to know that a lot of changes have happened of recent with content that we've done because of the ideas you gave.
Thank you. That means a lot, man.
I.e., the way that we shoot the new Jazz Takhar podcast, the way that it's going into a call-in show. A lot of that was because conversations you and I had. And so I want you to know that your creativity I use a lot. So thank you for that.
That means a lot. Thank you.
Rochester, I went home one day and I said to my kids, bet. And they looked at me and they said to me, Dad, you're not that cool. And
What's with the kids?
and they looked at each other and legit, my 10-year-old and my 8-year-old, they laughed. And they were laughing at me. And they were laughing at me.
Fuck them kids, bro.
They were laughing. Yeah, I know. They were laughing at me. They were laughing at me because they were like, he's so old. And they said, and they both said, dude, you're 42. You're not allowed to say those words. And the amount that they laughed what brought me the most happiness. And it was because I sat at that table in front of us and I said, hey, yo, Rochester, how come you always say bet, bro? What does that mean? And you told me what it meant, but I was able to take it home and have one of the best moments that I had of recent with my 10-year-old and 8-year-old. And it's because you're so fucking damn cool.
One time I asked Steven what cap meant.
Rochester.
You're cool.
Yo, Steven,
That's what a cool guy would say when
You're
you call
like
him
the
cool.
coolest person I know.
Yo, Steven, do you remember when I
That
asked
doesn't
you
say a
what
lot
cap
about
meant?
people
We don't
And
have
this
any
is where
friends.
over there. This is where I would say,
We have no friends.
Bet.
I was like, yo, Steven, what
And we
happens?
say hi to them.
What does it mean when someone says cap? Or no cap?
So that's another one. He's like, no cap. A couple of years ago now, I was like, go, Alto, you're allowed to speak. You're just so vain. Go.
No, but remember when we did this one little like survey? This might have been some of your times, and we said, "Who's the most normal of our crew?"
Oh,
and
yeah,
we
yeah,
all
yeah,
were
yeah.
like, "Obviously, it's me." But then we all secretly wrote
Steven.
Rochester.
We wrote this on a piece of paper.
Like,
Yeah.
Rochester
Survey.
got the votes of like the most normal human.
No, so we're
No,
misfits.
because we're like, you're not a misfit. Like you get along with you're not weird.
You're like normal
I'm a
weird.
weird.
He's a little bit of a weird guy. He's a little bit of a weird guy.
Human, so he's weird, but like he like we get along with.
No, but I'm
everybody.
saying he has weird tendencies.
Everybody does.
Yes.
Well, like the fact that he's wearing sunglasses inside.
No, the fact is, I didn't even notice.
Gucci.
fact
He's
that
so
you
fucking
nice.
cool. He's so fucking cool. I didn't even notice he's wearing sunglasses.
Right. They're not dark
Sunglasses.
shades.
I thought they were transitions.
They're
and
indoor
I'm like,
shades.
oh, okay, yeah.
For the light.
Yeah, I know you have those like really like.
I've been looking at the screen for 5 years. I need to protect my eyes.
But you gotta get the blue filter. I've been
I
telling
know.
everybody blue filter.
That's true though.
Tilly,
Built in.
I don't know how you're gonna take this, but you need to take this as 1,000% compliment. There's very, very few people who can actually roll with me in terms of energy. Very few people, in general. There is only maybe 1 or 2 people that I actually have to remind myself that I have to put my energy up to deal with, and that's you. You
Take it as a compliment.
bring
It's a compliment.
so much
It means
in terms
vibes.
of energy and you challenge me almost every single time that you speak to me because you bring so much of that high frequency and vibration. And some will tell you that you're weird, and I want to tell you, don't ever change for anyone. You are an amazing person. And
Correct.
for me, it's a huge challenge at times in the best way possible because I have to become someone I'm not. I don't have to fake energy in terms of when I'm speaking to people. With you, I have to mentally tell myself, shit, I'm not ready for her yet. And that's a challenge. But you're putting me outside my comfort zone. And not a lot of
Yeah,
people
but Jazz,
can
you're a lot to a lot of people.
Yeah,
So
but-
this is the one person who might energy.
He's met his match.
Met his match.
in terms of energy, at times I not only met my match, I have to become more and better. Hence why I'm saying to her that I have to.
So that's
actually
how
go
we all
outside.
feel around you. So
Well, I really don't care.
You became Super
now he has
Saiyan.
empathy.
Yeah.
For all Dragon Ball Z fans, you have to become Super Saiyan to
Yeah.
match Tilly's energy, which is a
Oh, I
compliment.
was about to go Pokemon like Charizard and stuff.
Oh yeah, sure. You have to
Evolve,
evolve to
Mewtwo?
Charizard, right? Charmander has to become
Charmander.
Charmeleon, then
Do
Charizard.
you know any of them?
I'm too
All right.
cool for this.
Quickly.
Snorlax.
Really quickly.
I'm the
Guys,
cool one.
Snorlax.
Really quickly because we did this and
Squirtle.
I don't know who watched till the end of this. but-
Nobody. Not
yeah.
a single soul.
Exactly.
Not
Not a
just
single
us.
soul. It's just
We
us.
rewatched
And
ourselves.
It's fucking awesome.
That's a fact. That's a
My
fact.
boys
Excuse.
Bo and Clyde. To my boy Bobo, I just want to tell you that this last trip that you and I took, you were so grateful because you mentioned it multiple times, and I just want to tell you that means a lot to me. And I think that is an amazing trait because when you're grateful, you will always bring more things to be grateful for. That's how life works. That's how universe works. That's how God works. And I noticed how grateful you were because you told me. So thank you for that. Clyde, you have become such an amazing leader of the content that is now being put out to the world to inspire people, which I will never quit to do. And I needed someone like you to take the bull by its horns, and I've had a lot of people doing it, and they've done a fantastic job. But now there's someone who's taking the lead
Now it's your turn, buddy.
of doing that. And your accent is fucking amazing. Every time I hear your voice, I want to hear you speak more. And I don't mean that as a joke. I mean that as a compliment that a Frenchie was supposed to come into my world because...
Jazz wants most people to shut up,
Yeah.
not talk more.
Exactly. And yet I want to hear you speak a lot. And I just want to tell you I love you. And so thank you for being behind the ones and twos.
And
You
every time you talk, you seem taller to me. Every single time. I was like, yo, every time I was like, whoa, I didn't realize how tall you were.
All right. That was the first episode of Jas and Friends. Cheers to you guys.
Cheers,
love
everyone.
you guys.
Cheers,
All right.
cheers.
Salut.
Me, me,
All
me,
right.
me.